Hey guys, this is Nephis here, and we're continuing our ESO guides with this video. The last video we did was a comprehensive guide on how to animation cancel and properly weave. So if you haven't checked that guide out and want to learn everything about animation canceling and weaving, the link will be provided in the description below and on the end of this video. As always, please help support me and my content creation by subscribing to my YouTube channel, and to also keep up with the latest ESO related stuff. In this video, we'll be going over ultimates and ultimate generation. There's a lot of confusion and myths even to this day over how exactly ultimates and ultimate generation work, so we'll be clearing it all up in this video, as there doesn't seem to be a recently updated source on this, as well even amongst other ESO content creators. To first understand why there is still confusion regarding ultimate generation specifically, a brief history and review of ultimates in the Elder Scrolls Online is in order. Ultimates, however, are skills you can slot onto your ultimate slot. Just to get this out of the way, in ESO you have access to a total of 2 ultimates at a time, 1 per weapon bar, and you can use whichever one provided that you are on the bar it's assigned to, and that you have enough of the ultimate points it requires to activate it. As of the making of this video, there is a total of 32 ultimates available in this game. Each player character realistically having access to only 16 of those 32 ultimates, as the other 16 are usually restricted due to class and morph choices. Up until the year 2015, specifically until patch version 1.6.5, the way a player would generate ultimate points in order to use an ultimate ability drastically changed. Previously referred to as dynamic ultimate, a player could gain ultimate based off of a number of variables during combat, including critical healing, critical damage, percentage-based healing, and percentage-based damage on a boss or a target. This basically meant that certain classes or builds had absurdly high ultimate generation. You can still find very old ESO PvP videos that show people using an ultimate, then popping the same ultimate mere moments after. A popular example you can look up is of the Dragon Knight class in PvP that constantly generated bat swarms or even standards, earning them the popular nickname of being Vampire Lords. After patch version 1.6.5, however, Dynamic Ultimate was done away with by the developers, and this is where you'll need to start paying attention instead of memeing on that one Discord server. You know what I'm talking about. In order to basically make it fair and standardize ultimate gain across the board, the developers did 3 things. Number 1, when you light or heavy attack a target, you get an ultimate buff unnamed that grants you 3 ultimate per second for a total of 9 seconds. Light attacking or heavy attacking again within the 9-second time frame due to your weaving and rotation means you're going to simply refresh that ultimate buff. This is how players, including myself, knew there would be a minimum of 4 necromancers required to keep a major vulnerability uptime based off of the new 12 to 20 second cooldown and standard ultimate generation without further variables before the Dragonhold patch actually hit the live server. This also factors into why it's so important to keep up your light attack weaving, especially if you're a PvE DPS or a PvPer in open world Cyrodiil, so that you can continuously build up towards your devastating or incredibly defensive ultimate skill. The second thing the developers did with Ultimate Generation is that if you heal a friendly target or ally that has this ultimate buff rolling on them, you'll also receive that same ultimate gain buff for 9 seconds, so long as the people you're healing are damaged. This is why you may have noticed healing certain boss fights that you don't gain ultimate if you don't light attack at all as a healer, but you're still healing people when they're already topped off. So they need to be generating ultimate and be damaged in order for you to gain ultimate from them when you're healing them, essentially. The third thing with ultimate generation is that besides light attacking, heavy attacking, and healing hurt allies who have the ultimate buff, you can also gain ultimate from successfully blocking attacks, successfully dodging attacks, or hitting targets that have a damage shield. For blocking and dodging attacks, the same value still stands. 3 ultimate per second for 9 seconds for a total of 27 ultimate. And this has not changed since then. And more recently, you used to be able to store up to 1,000 ultimate points, as long as you didn't use an ultimate, and this played primarily into the now reworked overload skill for sorcerers, which consumed ultimate upon usage. As of 2019, the storage of ultimate has been capped at 500, which plays still into overload, but also a relatively new monster set called Baylorg, which grants weapon and spell damage double of how many ultimate points you're letting go when you use an ultimate. So things are pretty simple at this point until you realize that there are quite a few more variables to take into consideration: skills, passives, traits, and item sets. The following skills, passive, and item sets, and as of the day of making this video, that can affect ultimate generation and even ultimate cost are as follows. We got Tava's Favor, Hide of the Werewolf, Eternal Warrior, Bloodspawn, we have Shocks, and some of these item sets do overlap with some common ultimate generation buffs like minor heroism or major heroism. So for example, Heroic Slash Shock grants you minor heroism 1 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. We have Shimmering Shield from the Wardens, Daedric Trickery, the craftable item set, Last Stand perk from the CP tree that gives major heroism, which is 3 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. So you got to read those tooltips very carefully because minor and major buffs do not stack on top of the same minor and major buffs and debuffs. We also have class passives like Mountain's Blessing for the DK, Prison for Templar, Transfer and Catalyst for Nightblade, Savage Beast for Warden, Enchanted Forest is a skill for the Warden, Invigorating Drain is a vampire skill that grants ultimate, Banish the Wicked is a passive of the Fighters Guild, Skill Line, Combat Frenzy from the PvP skill line, Synergizer CP passive, the Last Stand CP passive, Necrotic Potency from the Necromancers, Soul Harvest from the Nightblades if you kill things with that ultimate slotted on that bar you killed stuff with. We also do have a trait now, which is called Decisive, which grants 1 ultimate every time you gain ult, and this is obviously based on chance, and I believe for 2-handers, it's like a 40% chance that it generates an ultimate every time you gain ult. And we also do have more items and passives that address ultimate cost reduction, not just generation. So we have a cost reduction passive in Templar that does affect ultimate usage. The Red Guard racial passive also does affect weapon ultimates. We also do have a sorcery cost reduction as well. And we have certain item sets including Potentates, Battlefield Acrobat, Dragon Guard, and Alteration Mastery that affects the cost of your ultimates. The most common question regarding ultimates usually at this point is if it's better to stack ultimate reduction over ultimate generation, and this answer will usually depend, at least for PvE, on both the class and the nature of the fight. Some people may be wondering as well how ultimate cost reduction is affected by wearing more than 1 ultimate cost reduction set, and with the example of using Potentates plus Dragon Guard, which totals up to 30% in value if you combine them together, you would think that the ultimate cost of, say, Warhorn, for example, would be 175 down from 250. But with either Dragon Guard or Potentate equipped, it's 212 ultimate, and with both of them equipped, it turned out to be 182 ultimate. So that's 38 ultimate cost reduction for the former, and another 30 ult cost reduction for the latter, which basically means the set bonuses are multiplicative rather than additive. So again, depending on class passives and so forth, it may not be worth it investing too much into ult cost reduction over either one ult cost reduction set and emphasizing the rest of your stats on ultimate generation. And probably long after this video is made, there will be even more or less sets, passives, and skills that will affect ultimate generation and cost. But the bottom line is that everything you've seen here on the list in the video is that it all works with and stacks on the innate ultimate buff you get from dodging, blocking, light attacking, healing, and heavy attacking, while the innate ultimate buff you get from doing the aforementioned actions does not stack with itself. For example, Bloodspawn, one of the most popular monster helms, does not override or not stack with the ultimate buff you get naturally, it simply adds to it. Hopefully, those of you watching this now understand how Ultimates and Ultimate Generation work in the Elder Scrolls Online. If you have any more questions regarding this topic, please let me know down in the comments below or come on my Discord server anytime to learn more. And again, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel to support my ongoing content creation for ESO. Thanks for Nephis and chilling with me, guys. Stay safe, have fun, and see you guys next time.